All right, let's talk about something I know drives so many people crazy. Have you ever done everything right? I mean, you've cut the calories, you've been killing it in your workouts, but that stubborn fat just will not leave? Well, you're definitely not alone. And you know what? It's probably not your fault. Let's dive in because we're about to uncover the real reason you're stuck and give you a clear path to finally fix it. Okay, right off the bat, let's just get this straight. This quote says it all, really. Your struggle isn't a failure of willpower, it's a fundamental misunderstanding of your own biology. You're out here trying to fight a hormonal battle with just discipline and motivation. Think about that. You're bringing a knife to a hormone gunfight. You're just not going to win by gritting your teeth harder. So, if it's not you, then what is it? Let's pull back the curtain and unmask the true culprit behind why your progress has stalled. And here's a hint. It's not a specific food, and it's not a lack of effort. It's a really powerful biological signal that, frankly, most diets completely ignore. I mean, does this sound familiar? You're eating clean, maybe you skip breakfast thinking that's the key, but by 10 a.m., you're foggy, you're starving, and you're just wondering, why does this feel so pointless? Look, you're not broken, I promise. You're just mistimed. You're fighting against your body's internal programming instead of learning how to work with it. Okay, so let me introduce you to the gatekeeper. Insulin. The best way to think about insulin is like a security guard for your fat cells. Every time you eat anything at all, insulin shows up for duty. And when he's there, he locks the doors to your fat cells. Nothing gets out. Fat burning is completely 100% shut down. So this is the crucial point. You literally cannot burn stored body fat as long as that guard is at his post. Now this slide, this is where the light bulb usually goes on for people. It completely reframes the whole problem. We're told it's a willpower failure, but in reality, it's just a hormonal signal. You think you ate too much, but what really happened is you just ate at the wrong time, which kept that insulin guard on duty for way too long. See, it's not about needing more discipline, it's about needing less insulin. Okay, so how do we get that security guard to go off duty so we can finally get into our stored fat? Well, this is where fasting comes in. And please hear me on this. It is not about restriction. It's about timing. It is the simplest, most direct way to lower insulin and finally unlock the vault. So let's actually walk through what's happening inside your body hour by hour. After about 12 hours without food, you've burned through most of your quick energy fuel, that stored sugar called glycogen. Then, right around 16 hours, insulin levels drop. A lot. The security guard has finally left his post. That's the green light. At 18 hours, your body really starts to ramp up using your own stored fat for fuel. And if you go to 24 hours, you start getting into ketosis, where your liver literally creates this super efficient fuel called ketones from your own body fat. Pretty cool, right? But, and this is a big but, to keep that insulin guard away, your fast has to be clean. And I mean squeaky clean. Absolutely nothing that can trigger an insulin response. Even the sweet taste from a diet soda, or that just a splash of cream in your coffee, can be enough to call the guard right back to his post. The rule is really simple. If it has calories, or if it tastes sweet, it breaks the clean fast and puts a pause on fat burning. So fasting unlocks your fat stores. That's step one. Now let's talk about how to actually burn that fat. Because what you eat, and maybe even more importantly, how you eat it, is going to determine if that fat gets used for energy or if it just gets stored all over again. Here's a super simple but incredibly powerful rule. Protein first. When you break your fast, start your meal with protein and vegetables. This does two amazing things. It blunts the glucose spike from your meal and keeps insulin from surging. Plus, it makes you feel fuller, faster. You save those starchy carbs like potatoes or rice for the end of the meal. It's such a small shift in the order you eat, but it can dramatically change how your body responds. And this quote right here brilliantly illustrates why that protein is so non-negotiable. Your muscle is what burns calories all day long, even when you're just sitting there. It's your metabolic engine. If you don't eat enough protein, your body might start breaking down that precious muscle for fuel instead of fat. So the takeaway is simple. You have to protect your engine at all costs. And hey, here's another incredibly easy habit you can start today. The 10-minute rule. Just a simple, short walk right after you finish your meal. What happens is your muscles immediately start pulling that glucose from your blood for energy, which helps keep your insulin low and steady. And what does that mean? It means you switch back into fat burning mode much, much faster. Okay, now we gotta talk about the sneaky things, the things that can totally derail your progress even when you think you're doing everything perfectly. These hidden saboteurs can absolutely keep you stuck.
Let me ask you this. Are you actually hungry, or is it fake hunger? This is a huge one. See, when you fast, your body flushes out electrolytes like sodium. This can make you feel foggy, tired, or suddenly hit you with intense cravings. That is not real hunger. Real hunger is a slow build, an empty feeling. If it feels like a sudden emergency, try sipping some water with a pinch of salt or some unsweetened electrolytes. You will be amazed how often that hunger just vanishes.
Oh man, this slide is so important because these are the common traps everyone falls into. People see 0 calories and they think fasting's safe, but your body just doesn't see it that way. That intensely sweet taste of diet soda can still trigger an insulin release in some people. And bulletproof coffee? Look, fat is calories. Your body has to stop what it's doing and process it. These things might not have sugar, but they can still bring fat burning to a screeching halt. So let's kind of put all these pieces together and shift our whole mindset. This is not about being on a temporary diet that you have to suffer through. It's about setting a new metabolic default for your body, a state where burning fat is just the normal thing to do, not the rare exception. And that really brings us to the most important mental shift of all. Success here doesn't come from restriction, it comes from rhythm. You're not starving yourself, you are simply coordinating with your body's natural, ancient hormonal cycles of feeding and fasting. When you finally start working with your biology instead of fighting against it, fat loss stops feeling like a constant battle and starts feeling, well, almost automatic. Think about it. Your body is constantly giving you feedback. Your hunger, your energy levels, your cravings, these are all signals on a dashboard. For way too long, we've all been told to just ignore those signals or to overpower them with more willpower. But what if you finally learned how to read them? Are you ready to stop fighting that battle and start listening to what your body is actually trying to tell you?